Look, I don't Titan very often, but when I do, I make it look good.
Here comes the y'all don't really want it like that. Yeah.
Whoa. Who put the wrong tape in? Whoa. Hello everyone, it's Truds here, and today we've got another Destiny 2 build video. Like I mentioned in my last video, I'm going to showcase some really good builds utilising the Charge with Light mechanic from Season of Dawn. I really got into these mods last season, but I think for others it really missed the mark. But there's some really great builds in there that benefit weapon handling, ammo economy and overall damage output. As we touched on in the Jotun video, these mods can even work side by side with the new Warmind cell mods too, so they can make it into any top tier build. But for this build, we're leaning into two apparently OP and broken exotics in Destiny right now. One which hasn't been touched since its underwhelming fanfare into the game from arguably the most complex puzzle ever, and the other which got a minor buff to its ability, recently turning it into OEM 3.0. Yes, we are combining the only kinetic fusion rifle Bastion with the salt-inducing Antaeus Wards.
Warning,
this build may make you toxic and increase salt levels towards you. We do not accept any liability from here on out. Today, we're going to max these builds out, making the most of the Charge with Light mods to maximise their effectiveness in both the Crucible and PvE. Now, I'm not a PvP god if you haven't already guessed, and I genuinely struggle playing Titan in the Crucible. But even though this build is great in PvP, this build actually is crazy in PvE endgame content too, and I'm going to show you why. First up, let's look at the perks of these two top tier exotics. Antaeus Wards are the Titan exotic leg armour that come with the perk Reflective Vents. With this you get an improved slide, and sliding also reflects incoming projectiles. Reflecting projectiles grants super energy. So as you can see, there's a number of benefits ingrained in this exotic, but the main bone of contention is that reflecting projectiles grants super energy. And this is the perk we are building into, because who doesn't want bonus super energy for literally doing nothing? However, the true beauty of this exotic is that whilst you are sliding, you get a full 360 degrees immunity to incoming damage, with a chance to fully reflect that damage back into your opponent. It's actually kind of nuts, and if you've used it to some benefit in PvP, you'll know why it's the bane of players everywhere. So for this build, we're actually going for a double fusion rifle build along with the Antaeus Wards. The reasons for this will become apparent with the combination of mods we'll be using. But let's look at the main fusion rifle we'll be using, Bastion. This heavy hitting exotic kinetic fusion comes with the perk Saint's Fists, where this weapon fires 3 spreads of kinetic slugs. These slugs come out in a semi-auto style when firing the weapon. With the 780 charge time, it's just quicker than the ever popular Erentil, but it doesn't have quite the insane range of the high impact archetype. However, this weapon has huge super shutdown potential, with the ability to take out most roaming supers from one charge shot. Even in normal gameplay, it can take out up to 3 guardians with one shot. It is an absolute monster, and one that is just starting to get on players' radars in PvP for these reasons. As Bastion is in the kinetic slot, it allows us to run this truly unique double fusion build, and there's a number of fusions to choose from, but we're going for the Garden of Salvation legendary Void Fusion Rifle Zealot's Reward. There's a number of reasons why we're going for this one above others. Firstly, it's a rapid fire frame fusion which gives it an intrinsically fast charge time, lightning fast reloads as standard, and superb handling which ultimately makes it quicker to switch to. These fusions unfortunately have the shortest range, but that's not the reason we are running this one. It has some great perk roll combinations, and this is perfect for the build we're going to be doing. First up, it's got Shield Disorient, which will cause energy match shield explosions caused by this weapon to disorientate nearby enemies. This is great for the PvE side of the build we're going for and pairs beautifully with this weapon's second perk. It also comes with Disruption Break. Breaking an enemy's shield with this weapon makes them more vulnerable to kinetic damage for a brief period. These two perks have amazing synergy in both PvE and PvP. So, if you break the opponent's shield with Zealot's Reward and then quickly switch to Bastion, you'll get bonus damage, which when used on chunkier shielded combatants in PvE, you can really nuke them in no time at all. Now, a double fusion build isn't optimal in PvP due to the initial ammo economy on spawn, but stick with me on this one and I'll show you how you can make this work. So first up, you'll definitely want to be running double fusion rifle scavenger mods on your legs, and with your legs being the Antaeus Wards, you ideally want them to be the solar affinity to make this cheaper, otherwise you'll have to go for the standard special ammo scavenger mods, which cost 1 energy more. However, this mod will probably be more vital for any Crucible player to ensure that you get the most out of the ammo drops on the maps. Before we get into the 3 Charge with Light door mods we'll be running with this build, there's another vital piece. As we're running double fusions, you're going to want to use 2 light reactor mods on your class item. These solar affinity mods cost 3 energy and they grant bonus super energy on fusion rifle final blows. So obviously pairing this with the super bonus granted from Antaeus Wards just gives an added bonus to an incredible boost to your super regen. So that's the basics sorted in terms of mods, but there's 3 super strong arc mods that you're probably sleeping on, which are going to upgrade this build significantly, especially in PvE content, making you a sliding, unstoppable powerhouse. The Season of Dawn Charge with Light mods offer some great game changing abilities, and these ones here are genuinely unique as they have 2 perks in one mod, as long as you have another arc mod slotted into the armor piece to activate it. First up, we have Striking Light. This arc affinity mod costs 5 energy, giving you the ability to spawn an orb of light when you defeat combatants with a charged melee or sword whilst charged with light, which will consume 1 stack of Charged with Light. Its secondary perk is Uncatchable, where you gain an increased damage resistance against combatants while sprinting. This perk blends in nicely with the playstyle we are trying to achieve here with the fusion sliding Antaeus combo. As to slide, you generally will be sprinting for a short distance, so you can now tank some incoming fire before becoming fully immune thanks to reflective vents. So our next Charge with Light mod is Heavy Handed. This arc affinity mod is expensive, costing 7 energy, but it adds to our Striking Light mod's Charge with Light ability, in that whilst charged with light, you'll regain half your melee energy when you use a charged melee ability, consuming 1 stack of Charge with Light. Again, we're not really going for melee kills with this one, but these 2 perks from these mods are a nice benefit, providing a boost to supers with the orb and a free half return of your melee, which isn't to be sniffed at. But it's the second perk we're 100% going to be using all the time in PvE, as it just gives you free ammo for using both of your fusions. Lock and Load is the perk whilst you're surrounded by combatants. Defeating a combatant with a fusion rifle, shotgun, sidearm or SMG will add ammo for that weapon to your reserves. This perk is awesome for double weapon loadout builds, especially with special ammo sometimes being scarce. To be able to produce your own is just sweet. It won't just add ammo to your equipped fusion though, but it will also add ammo to your stored one too, giving you ammo for days. Honestly, this is a top tier perk in PvE and I don't fully understand why it doesn't get more love. And so to round off our door mods, Quick Charge is the mod which will be making us charge with light to enable us to benefit from the other 2 door mods' basic perks. It costs 5 arc energy and will allow you to become charged with light by rapidly defeating multiple enemies with fusion rifles or shotguns. But it's the second perk here with Ever Ready, increasing the ready speed of fusions, shotguns, sidearms and SMGs. This bonus perk just adds a quick draw style handling to both fusion rifles in this loadout, so you can swap between them at your leisure with little downtime. So that's the mods covered off, which do truly offer a unique and powerful option in PvE content. These mods do work in PvP, but getting surrounded final blows is somewhat difficult to maintain without hacks, which we don't condone here. As for the subclass to choose from, there's a few I was tempted to pick from, with Bottom Tree Sunbreaker with its Sun Warrior perks being a good fit here, but I feel that the Top Tree Sentinel Code of the Protector will go better thanks to the Overshield from Defensive Strike, playing into the tank style of this mods and exotics. Overall, the synergy on this build is incredible. Having double fusions to pump out high end damage to all enemies is great, especially if you take advantage of the shield break bonus of Zealot's Reward. This combination of mods works great across all classes, and I would even recommend trying this out with shotguns too, especially if you're trying to finish off any catalyst for the tractor cannon or the 4th horseman. After all of this, it's likely Antaeus will be getting a nerf imminently, which will likely be a rollback to its pre-Season of the Worthy buff where it used to allow chip jamming through its shield as you were sliding. But until then, if it's broke, then keep on using it. Once again, it's an incredibly fun build and one I enjoyed putting together, even though I don't Titan very often. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and found it helpful in figuring out some mod combos to try. Before we go, this channel has seen some incredible growth recently and we hit a huge milestone passing 500 subscribers, and it wouldn't be possible without each and every single one of you, so thank you very much. If you are new here though and want to see more awesome Destiny 2 builds, go ahead and click the subscribe button to stay up to date. Also, a rating down below is greatly appreciated and helps support the channel. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.